are far worse things waiting man than death.
You will be scared shitless.
This is S. Michael, and with me as always is
Erin Dawn.
Slinky Giallo.
And we are the Scared Shitless Podcast. Well, we talk about actually scary movies here.
Not Halloween ends.
Right. So, and to that end, this week, I had Slinky choose between John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness and Event Horizon. He was like, no brainer. Fuck John Carpenter's Satan in a Jar bullshit.
Liquid Satan, no.
Yeah, there's a couple Carpenter flicks. I'm like,
yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
Well, and what's funny, I want to harp on that for a little bit. I actually went and listened to the DVD commentary, which is isolated on YouTube, where Carpenter and one of his recurring actors in a lot of his movies do a commentary on the film. And the gist of it was basically I pulled all of this stuff out of my ass, with the
nice.
The cosmic, when the Chinese guy is explaining like all of the science behind it, it was all just stuff that Carpenter was like reading up on in these weird magazines. And he was like, I just took a little bit here and there. And so when he gets all philosophical, it's all just bullshit. And then Carpenter added, and I was really disillusioned by this. He says, I barely remember making this movie, to be honest. I was like, oh my God.
I had a zombie book years ago called The Zombie Movie Guide by an author named Glenn Kay. And there was a section in that book about the Prince of Darkness, because technically the guys in the alley are considered zombies. Yeah. So it made the cut. And Glenn Kay put an interview from John Carpenter in that book, and he said exactly what you fucking said. He said he has no recollection of making that fucking movie. And the thing about Carpenter is when he's lazy, he is super fucking lazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Memoirs of an Invisible Man, don't even get me going. It's so, yeah. Mouth of Madness should have been an epic fucking movie, and I will argue till I'm blue in the face that it's not.
Amen.
That was insulting,
I'm with you 100%.
Man. Oh, it's
maybe
bullshit.
It kind of put me off on Sam Neill for a while. It wasn't his fault.
Put me off of him. It put me off of Carpenter for fucking sure in the 90s. Carpenter was dog shit in the 90s. I'm just keeping it real.
You know what I liked that came out around the same time was
Clive dog shit too.
Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions. You ever see that?
Lord
of
Illusions.
Yeah. It came out around the same time, and it was like I liked it better than In the Mouth of Madness, but it wasn't a great movie either. It was like around that time, the 90s kind of sucked, really, to be honest. Overall,
90s horror is bullshit, but 90s erotic thrillers are fucking chef's kiss. Like, I wish I had a whole other podcast where I just talked about erotic thrillers from the 90s. Anyway.
Did I tell you guys about Christine and I's new podcast that we're starting?
Yeah, the sexual one.
No, well, kind of, not really. It's called the Scared Titless Podcast. And swear to God, and
Michael.
Well, it was her idea. So she had a double mastectomy and is advocating for women who've had mastectomies. And we will be watching horror films and commenting on the sexuality in the horror movies. It'll be, she's coming at it from a feminist, cancer survivor advocacy angle. I'll be coming at it from the I grew up on this shit, so of course it's sleazy and I enjoy it, angle. And there's going to be tons of tension. So,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I love it.
Great idea. Absolutely. No one's doing that shit. So yeah, do it.
I got some stickers in the mail.
Oh, that's awesome. I am looking at it. Looks like it's an artistic lamp with some H.P. Lovecraft looking tentacles coming up off of it. Yeah,
it's my Cthulhu leg. So good.
Oh, it's not a lamp; it's your leg.
What you said? Then I was like, oh, he's going with a Christmas story. Okay.
Well, okay, yeah, you could turn it into a leg lamp for sure.
No, that's actually his leg. That is his leg. Yeah,
but I have Kraken leg.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. For anyone who doesn't know, Christine's not the only one missing body parts in my crew. Slinky lost his leg, so.
Wouldn't say I lost it.
Did you find it yet? No. All right. Anywho, I guess we should get back to the task at hand. Event Horizon was the clear winner of that choice. And why do you like this movie, Slinky?
Yeah. Okay, this movie. Sit down, kids. Have a seat. This movie. It's special to me, I guess, because I was completely unaware of this movie when I was 17, but when I visited my friend in New Jersey, a girl I met up there asked me to go to the movies with her. And so I went to the movies with her. And this is what we saw in the theater, sitting next to her mom and her friend, who was clearly a lesbian. And so, yeah, so I saw this movie like on a date when I was 17. And so whatever. It was a magical weekend, guys. And so this movie's like, hey,
this is an existential film for you.
This is a great fucking movie, man. And so it's so it has a special place in my heart. But aside from all the pomp and circumstance because of the movie, it's a great flick, man. Like it's a haunted house flick in space. I don't know how else to describe it. It's cosmic as fuck. It's a magical flick.
Yeah.
So I have a burned in impression of this movie when it first came out, and I've loved it since I first saw it. So.
Okay, Erin.
And then I did not see this movie. I was so late to the party on this. I think I was probably 34 or 35 when I saw it. I had a boyfriend who was like, "Yeah, you should see it. It's like a science fiction movie with a smattering of gore." That's how he sold it. And then I watched it and I was just dumbstruck by how beautifully shot it was, how incredibly like scary it was. And then of course the scene caught me by such surprise that I looked at him and I was like, "You didn't fucking warn me?" And he was just like, "What?" Like, whatever, I haven't dated the brightest bulbs on the marquee. So yeah, but then I watched it. Let's see. I watched it with Slink. I've had it on the background. I did it on our show. And I just like it. I think it's stacked cast, amazing gore, terrifying visuals, a lot of layers to it that I don't think a lot of people know. I think to be honest with you, the reason I had never seen it was because I just thought it was some dumb space movie. Like I didn't know anything about it. I was just like, well, Lawrence Fishburne's got to save the world, I knew nothing. I knew nothing about it. And then when someone like introduced me to it, and then how I would describe it to other people, I was like, it's like Hellraiser in space, except better than the actual Hellraiser in space,
Yeah. I also came to it pretty late. I was probably in my mid-20s and rented it on DVD. This would have been like right before streaming really blew up. And I mean, I liked it. I wasn't blown away. And I think it's because I hadn't been introduced to a whole lot of cosmic horror yet at that time. And I was viewing it like you, like just this is, a space cowboy movie. And I did the same thing that a lot of the critics apparently did, which was I kept pointing out all of the things that it was derivative of, So it's like, oh, well, they got that from Aliens. They got that from Star Wars. Right. They got that from Hellraiser, So I was just really overly critical and, didn't just enjoy it for what it was. Although, the scene, and it's great when you can say that about any movie, but especially a horror movie, when you say the scene, it's going to be some mad, crazy shit going down. That stays with you, even if you didn't particularly care for the film. And then I watched it again last week or this week, I guess, and felt very differently about it. It was like, I did not pick up on any of this the first time I watched it. So I'm really glad that you recommended this, Slinky.
It's great. It's great. This movie's amazing.
I am going to have to lean a little heavier on you guys for the chronology.
Listen, I'm not going to be able to do it. I won't be able to do it justice, but I can. Well, I don't even know if I can walk you through it.
I've got my notes pulled up. And so what?
Okay, yeah. I mean, we can. But there's so much stuff I love about this movie that we'll make it not clunky.
About this film though is really doing a chronological scene by scene doesn't really do it justice because there's time manipulation and also so much of it takes place on the ship that it's very hard to be like, okay, and in this scene they're on the and then
right and we've done other films where it wasn't a 100% chronological. I'm just saying if there's little things that, you forget here and there, I do have my notes pulled up so I can jump in, you know what I mean? Like, oh, and then, remember this happened, yada, yada. So, but can we talk about the director,
Yeah, very
Paul
cool.
W.S. Anderson? We were talking about 90s movies earlier.
Not to be confused with my Boogie Nights, Paul Anderson.
Right. No, Paul W.S. Anderson,
This is the
who is most famous apparently
Yeah.
for
This is
the Mortal Kombat movie that came out and,
Mortal
kicked box
Kombat
office
and
ass.
Resident Evil.
And yes, the Resident Evil films. So I'm
I've
not
still never
familiar with
seen the
his
original
other
Mortal
shit,
Kombat.
but he's a successful director. This was a flop, comparatively,
Yeah,
but unfortunately, the critics just tore it apart.
Mhm.
But
And apparently there's a director's cut and
Ooh.
footage was in a vault somewhere and it was lost. And so
In Israel, I believe it was
some
it
story.
was an assault mine. Somehow the footage, the whatever director's cut footage, the extra footage ended up in an assault mine, literally. And it deteriorated to the point that they can never recover it.
Oh,
So
God,
there
that's
is
so
never going to
sad.
be there's never going to be like an extended scene kind of cut or anything like that, as much to the internet's chagrin. That footage is lost. They would literally have to reshoot it.
So so there's we'll never get a director's cut.
Well, so I'm sorry, before you jump in with both feet, Slink, the other big name that I want to talk about is Michael Kamen, who did the score. Now, I am in love with Michael Kamen, not just because he did the music for The Dead Zone, which is always in my top 10 favorite horror movies. He did all these major movies like Die Hard, Highlander, so he's a very successful composer, but he was at the MTV 10. It was when MTV was celebrating their 10th anniversary. They had 10 acts on, and Aerosmith was one of the acts. And
I know what you're gonna say.
they did Dream On with a fucking orchestra.
And it's the only, I'll be honest with you, it is my favorite version of that song, and you can only get it on the Last Action Hero soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, you could probably, I'm sure there's probably some, Aerosmith B-side DVD or
it's
DVD
my
that I don't know
favorite
about,
too.
but
And every time I did it at karaoke, I would always do that version, where there's extra screams, and it was just
it's
fucking
awesome.
mind blowing.
Yeah, no, you gotta say that's actually the first version of Dream On I ever heard. So when I heard that, and then I heard like the original, I was like, why? But it's funny because you mentioned that. It was like, as soon as I hear Michael Kamen, that's the first fucking thing that I think of. Oh, and November Rain.
Yeah, I mean, he's a composer's composer, and this movie definitely shines because of his music, which is, everybody says it all the time. It's a character in and of itself, but I mean, this is not an exaggeration. It really is. I mean, there's so many scenes that are just elevated because of his scores. So,
yeah, like Slink brought up the fact that the opening credit sequence of this movie,
it just starts off fucking. It just starts out 10 toes down, man. It's awesome. So because I love that song. Oh my god, that's the funky shit. That's good, man. I remember in the theater, I was jamming when the credits were playing because I was like, oh my god, this is the funky shit. Like, it starts out, you're flying through space.
Right.
It's pretty cool. Then it shows what I guess you see a spaceship and you see Sam Neill floating in this cryo chamber or hydro chamber rather. That's right. Yeah, he wakes up. He's walking around. Stasis. That's right. He's in space and wakes up, has a nightmare, sees this redhead. Scary. And then you see that he's with a group of people on a ship going through space. And he woke up early from hyperspace or something? That's right. So he wakes up, the rest of the crew is awake and blah, blah, blah. And we get introduced to a crew on a spaceship.
That sort of ragtag group of
motley crew of guys that don't want to be there.
Nobody wants to be there.
Spanish triple to come.
It's like Deep Star 6, where they're like, I just want to get topside, man. I just want to get topside. I've been down here for 9 months. I just want to get topside.
We're introduced. It's kind of cool because we're introduced to this fucking community of people who we get introduced to their lingo, this deep space lingo. And these guys are like rescue salvage people. So like this is their routine and they're used to this. They're used to sleeping for months at a time in space. and it's 2040. So we're not far from this, man. We're really not far. In 97, I was just like, what the fuck? That's too far. Anyway, I forgot. They all start waking up. We get introduced to the motley crew of space people. There's the medic, the captain, everybody. Lawrence Fishburne, Larry F. Burn.
And nobody wants to help Sam Neill. Like, let's just, like, the first half
Right.
of this movie is nobody gives a fuck about Sam Neill. Nobody wants to, right.
To watch him.
You have to watch him. Nobody cares what he has contributed to science. And they are very vocal about that.
Yeah. And so the thing is, we're going to do that. Sam Neill is the guy who built, I'm fucking this up.
He built the Event
Once-
Horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, once we get introduced to all the crew, we find out why they're there. And we find out that Sam Neill is the scientist who built this ship called the Event Horizon, which when it was activated and went on its deep space mission, it disappeared. And it was the biggest space disaster ever recorded. And so they're on a mission, and Sam Neill is telling them, well, we're going to get the Event Horizon. It showed back up on the radar. And they're like, bullshit. They're like, it vanished. And he's like, no, let me show you how it came back. And he shows them this science project, and it's insane. Yeah.
Black hole thing, which, by the way, I'm not smart enough to understand. So,
yeah. So Sam Neill's the guy who built it. So they're like, well, he can explain it the best if we bring him to the ship. So they go on this deep space mission to the Event Horizon, which shows back up off the orbit of Neptune, which is in deep fucking space. And so they arrived to the Event Horizon. Now they're there to check it out and see what went wrong. They're supposed to find the crew, find out what happened, where the ship went, yada, yada, yada. Now we're up to speed. Okay. And I love the name of the ship that the crew is on, the Lewis and Clark. That's a great fucking name for a spaceship. That's a great name for a spaceship. When I lived in Pittsburgh, I happened to be there for the bicentennial of their expedition. So it was like Lewis and Clark shit everywhere. It was pretty
Awesome.
cool. Yeah. So anybody else want to?
I love that. And then, yeah, this is a recovery mission. This is essentially like a recovery mission, and nobody wants to do it, and nobody really cares. So you got a lot of like angry folk on the ship, but
they all have lives. So,
they want to get back. They do. They want to get back to their lives. Kathleen Quinlan, your favorite pinup girl, she has a child back home and wants to return to that child. And
they all have past trauma.
Yes. One of the things that I like about this movie is that it uses horror to touch on personal trauma that is unresolved.
Yeah. Sam Neill's wife killed herself.
Right.
He has abandoned her special needs son.
Yep. Larry Fishburne let a guy burn to death, apparently.
So they all have stuff that they're burdened with. Yeah.
And let's talk about the cast for a moment.
Yeah.
The cast is stacked, right? We've got Kathleen Quinlan, who we adore in everything she touches. We've got Jeremy Isaacs. Yes. Jeremy Isaacs, who
Jason Isaacs.
Nope. Jason Isaacs. Yes, that's right. Jason Isaacs. And then we've got, I cannot think of his, Sean Pertwee.
Okay, let me talk about Sean Pertwee real quick. He is the son of John Pertwee, who played the third Doctor in the original Doctor Who series.
Okay.
Oh,
and he's also in Dog Soldiers and a bunch of other cool movies.
Yeah. So we have him. We have Jolie Richardson making her second appearance on Scared Shitless. Like she's
from Color Out of Space. Yes.
Awesome.
Cosmic horror.
She's in her mother tongue in this one. She's like straight British.
Yeah.
We have Sam Neill and all his Kiwi glory. Larry Fishburne.
And who's Justin? Who plays?
Oh, Justin. Okay, so let's talk about Justin for a second. Let's hop in the Wayback Machine. One of the things that Slink and I have been doing lately is going on YouTube while I'm working during the day and pulling up old 90s MTV blocks of videos.
With commercials.
With commercials. Yes, with commercials. So we're quite acquainted with this gentleman.
Yeah, I remember this long before. I didn't need this shit to remember this. I remember this from back in the day. What's his name? Justin what? Jack
Noseworthy.
The kid who plays Justin, aka Baby Bear, I know that guy from a show from the 90s called Dead at 21. That's how fucking old I am.
And then
so yeah, that's where I know him from.
I know him as the guy.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're
Yeah,
gonna
oh, you totally know. Yeah. Is the guy in the Bon Jovi Always video who cheats on Carla Gugino. What the fuck is the matter with you? With Carrie, the chick from Felicity. Carrie, nope, not having it. Okay. So yes, anyway, that video where she catches him and throws the groceries at him. So yeah, dude.
And Idle Hands, the movie Idle Hands.
Oh, he's in Idle Hands?
Yes.
Yeah. I've never seen Idle Hands.
Idle Hands is great. He plays like the motorhead, like the motorhead. Yeah. And so all right, so now we know all the crew. Yeah, now we get the crew. We find out that they're near the event horizon and they're going to board the ship and they're going to check out what's going on. And see, I can't remember. They get on board of the ship. They find the flight log, and it's like a jarbled mess. It's weird. They hear a voice. They think they hear a voice that says "Liberate me," which means "save me." And so that's creepy, right? They're hearing this weird noise on the thing. The screen's weird. There's like viscera and glue caked to the inside of the windows on certain parts of the ship, and nobody fucking says anything. Nobody's like, where'd all this red jizz come from?
It looks like a butcher shop or like a scene out of Pieces. Yeah. It's just like there's just gore everywhere, and they're just like, well, this is odd.
When they first get on the ship, there's zero gravity, so it's neat because there's like everything's floating. There's like pliers and there's liquid floating, and liquid looks cool in CGI. Zero gravity, it looks really neat, and so it's neat to see. So then they instill the they put the gravity back on, which they're about to do on the TV, and everything falls on the ground. So the one body that's floating in the med bay hits the ground and like explodes because it was frozen from deep space. Lot of late 90s rough CG in this bitch. But it's not there's some stuff where it's just like, wow, that's bad. And then a lot of it's used to like nuance stuff, like accentuate stuff. So it's done very well. Yeah, so then they start kind of poking around and they're like, hey, this ship's really crazy. Why is it designed like this? And he's like, well, we designed it this way because I'm a psychopath and I designed it's a very interesting designed ship when you look at it. It literally looks like what the Cenobites would travel in if they had a spaceship, man.
Yeah. It literally looks like if Pinhead and Escher came together and they
fucked a lot.
And they created and their Arc of Jism created,
meat grinder.
Yeah, the set design. Set design is one of the best features of this film. It's fucking incredible.
Oh my god! It's just it's a very stunning film. Yeah. I mean, if you look at it from just the set design pieces, it really is just a really interesting movie to watch and look at. And it's cool.
Looks like a fucking skull.
Flesh.
Just nobody talks about the elephant in the room. So they start poking around the ship, finding out stuff, seeing, trying to figure out what went wrong. And it's just the mess that they walk into everywhere is just like, wow, it's a lot. So then they split up, as you do in horror movies, to secure certain areas of the ship. And then they start hallucinating, I guess. Space madness is what I call it. Thank you, Ren and Stimpy. And they all start seeing like twisted versions of the stuff that they're terrified of. Like Kathleen Quinlan sees her disabled child in a wheelchair, but then they have maggots on their legs. And then like the guy that Lawrence Fishburne let burn to death to save the rest of the crew, he's talking to him. He's like, you killed me. You let me burn. And he says it just like that. And so it's just like, then it starts getting twisted. Then something happens with fucking Justin because he's supposed to be dead at 21. His clock is ticking.
I think Baby Bear was, if memory serves me correctly, wasn't he he was a drug addict, right?
So he's a drug addict.
He's a drug addict. So he starts to relive all of these things about himself that, a lot of drug addicts carry around, that self-loathing and that utter hatred and everything. And it's very tragic and sad to watch, but a very good performance by him.
So he ends up in the airlock.
Yeah.
And they go zero gravity and he gets caught in the airlock, which is a really cool effect, man, to see how they showed zero gravity, like the vacuum on a human body, his veins pop out and it's gnarly. He starts bleeding from every hole.
Yeah. It kind of takes Miguel Ferrer's death from Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine, no, Deep Star 6.
We have the poster. Right
yes, we have the poster. Poster's right there. It takes his
the ultimate case of the bends. Yes,
his decompression scene right from that, and turns it up to like 90.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so he's just a fucking mess at this point. Then there's what happens is he ends up in the airlock, and there's a pulse that emits from the gravity drive in the event horizon. And it messes up the airlock. It messes up the Lewis and Clark. It puts Justin in the medical bay. And then, so now they're trying to fix the Lewis and Clark and still compose themselves and figure out what the hell just happened. It's just gnarly. It's really cool. And it doesn't move, or it moves at a clip too. That's the thing. It's not, there's no slow parts. The hallucinations are fucking terrifying. Then there's like the way the ship design is gorgeous, because when they show the gravity drive activate, all these circles line up around this globe and they turn bright and it looks like Pinhead has a halo. It's just really fucking cool. It's just gorgeous, man. And I'm just rambling here. I don't know what else to say.
Totally carrying the episode. I'm glad you're carrying that.
Then they start seeing weird stuff, and then Lawrence Fishburne's like, "Hey, Sam Neill, come over here. I got to talk to you." And he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" And he's being real evasive, real vague. He's not answering his question. He's being kind of
Sam Neill is being very, very evasive and cryptic with the whole explanation of
because he's
why
with the shit too. He's seeing stuff, but he doesn't know if he's seeing.
And he's like, we should stay on the event horizon, you know.
Yeah, he's being sketchy about the ship. He's like, well, the ship will take care of everything. Da, 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 da. And it's like, no, it's not how space works.
And he's like, that's because I designed it that way, right? So like, it's a lot of it is like his ego is really his downfall in this film, like, because he's like, well, I created it, I can control it, I can get absolute power from it, right? And it'll be fine, it'll be fine, right?
Yeah, it's straight from the mad scientist playbook. I mean, that is his character. I have to see, I have to know.
And that God complex, that God complex. And so then there's the big question. It's like, well, when the ship did go off the radar and vanish, where did it go? And so this question keeps getting brought up. And Dr. Weir, Sam Neill, Alan Grant is being really sketchy about this. And, and so I'm trying to think. It
might have passed beyond our plane of reality.
Yeah, because then he starts hitting them with the cosmic stuff. And it's like, where it's gone, you can't even fucking comprehend. And it's like, it's essentially alluded to that it went to hell and then came back, and it brought a piece of that with it, and now it's going to consume everybody, and it's just awesome, man.
Which is interesting. Slink pointed this out while we were cooking dinner tonight. He said, this is one of those cosmic horror films where cosmic horror is actually
malevolent,
malicious, and spiteful thing. It is not a thing that's just there and it's there to do its thing, and if people get hurt, that it doesn't care if you're there. This is literally there to
inflict as much damage to
cause people to devour themselves with their fears, anxieties, and grief.
Yeah. So real
the scene, because you guys know about this more than I do. Yeah. And so while this is happening, we're getting like, the cut scene, the flashback scenes and stuff, and it's happening to everybody. Everybody's getting a little taste of what went on in the fucking the main the cabin. And so it's like, okay, then the scene, because you guys, this was news to me when you told me.
So essentially what happens is they have been trying throughout the film, once they get, to the event horizon, they have been trying to decipher what is garbled in this, captain's log. And they finally get it unscrambled, and it is this, it is this absolute chaos, gory rape fest.
Yeah.
Like that is
I mean, they're eating each other.
Yeah,
they're fucking. They're doing all the
they're
things.
eating each other. A woman is fucking a guy in the ass with like a drill bit. That's a thing that happens. Like you have to slow it down to watch it, right? But like they had hired amputees, they had hired porn stars, they had hired all kinds of people to do this particular scene. So of course, much to the internet's chagrin, there's not a lengthier version of it, freaks. But what you do get to see is just utterly horrifying. Like they're just devouring each other,
it's
and
absolute madness.
It's just this.
To be,
it is. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely.
It's 100% like something that you would see in Hellraiser.
Yeah,
with
your friend.
Yeah, Hellraiser in space is a fair description of what this movie basically
I actually
is.
said that for years to people. Like, oh, you ever see Event Horizon? No, it's Hellraiser in space.
Hellraiser in space. Hey,
and then Hellraiser actually did a Hellraiser
and then
in space
they did
movie
a shitty Hellraiser in
Yeah.
space. Yeah. Unfortunately. But one of the things that they're able to finally decipher was the Latin phrase that the captain was saying. And what they thought was save me.
No.
It's actually save yourself from hell.
It's when they listen to the thing the first time, it's liberate me, which means save yourself, or it means save me. Then when they run it through the filter again and add the extra ADR, you can hear liberate tutame, and that means save yourself. And that's the big reveal.
If only they would have had Audacity in 2040 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. And so I mean, then Sam Neill, they kind of do this thing with him where he's like, obviously he's the guy who created the gravity drive. He goes crazy and he turns into a literal, like a pinhead light, man. He looks the part. He looks like a fucking
he's got
Cenobite.
like cross hatches and shit on his skin.
He looks awesome. He looks really cool. And like the eagle-eyed viewers will notice, if you look at his body, he has, I'm not sure if they're runic symbols or if they're satanic symbols or what they are, but he has things carved in his body. And now I'm curious enough to where I'm going to go look and see if it's like the King in Yellow or stuff like that, because the more I look into cosmic horror, the more stuff I find that it's in. And so that's eagle-eyed viewers will see Sam Neill's got like what's her face in Color Out of Space. She has like these symbols on certain parts of her body.
From the Necronomicon.
Yeah, the sister. Yeah. And Lavinia, who's not even in that story. But so just a great flick, man. I really like everything about this movie, dude. I really do. And Sam Neill keeps saying, "You're home. We're home."
Yeah, Sam Neill's like, where you're going, you don't need eyes.
Yeah,
like
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
He really drives it home. He gives a great performance. Like
he doesn't choose scenery.
No, he doesn't.
He's good. Yeah,
he doesn't. He's great. This film plays it very earnestly. Yeah. Like it's not played for camp. It's not played for like super over the top spaceship shit. It's played very straight, and each person really makes the most out of their time on screen.
There's not a weak performance in the movie. Everybody has a quirk that you like. Everybody is like, each character is unique, and they're all, you care for them. That's the thing. Like there's enough character development in this movie, and that's me saying something because I fucking hate characters in movies. But like,
you just hate.
I hate it.
You hate actors.
But like, you care for these people. Like you want her to get home to her kid. You want DJ to go back to Earth and get as much ass as he can. Like you're just like, you're feeling for these guys, man.
Oh, I hated the evil involved in her deaths.
Yeah. When Sean Pertwee finds that fucking bomb,
that was so sad.
Spent all that time putting that fucking shit back together, man. Sam Neill's just gonna do him dirty. Like, no. Yeah.
Indeed.
Event Horizon.
And then the movie wraps up with the final the whatever soliloquy epilogue. Yeah, I can't come up with words
because they detonate the ship explodes. The Event Horizon was designed to explode and break into two different parts. So the ship explodes, boom.
You can't have them. Go to hell. Love that.
And there's Sam Neill's like, you're coming with me. I am just trashing this movie. So the back half of the ship with Sam Neill and the gravity drive, that literally a hole fucking opens up and it gets swallowed down, and then it pops back up. It's really cool effect that they did it. And then the first part of the ship that has DJ and Jolene Richards in it, that goes back to Earth or headed towards Earth. And then it says like 40 something days later, I think. And then it's they wake up and they're like, oh yeah, everybody's dead. We're going back home. And Sam Neill's like, no. And then the credits, and it's awesome. You've been watching Event Horizon.
That's amazing.
It ends the way a good horror movie should end, on a fucking down note, or at least a question, like, oh shit,
Well, it's cosmic. So it's supposed to end like your mind is supposed to be just pumped out at the end of a cosmic horror, and it does it. I love the end of this movie too.
And that's Event Horizon. I mean, okay. So last week we rated it first and then did the scared shit list. How do you want to do it, Slink?
Oh, it's whatever. The scary stuff first. We'll just do.
All right. So the scared shit list.
You will be scared shitless.
Which is the time on the show during which we discuss what was actually scary about this film, what scared us personally the most. And yeah, it's your party, your charter, my vessel.
In 1997 film Event Horizon, the part that scares me the most is when the movie starts and Sam Neill explains to everyone what the Event Horizon is and what it does, and that it has a gravity engine in it. And when he explains the process of what that ship is able to do, he uses a piece of paper and he folds it in half, and he says, this folds time and space in half and you can pass through, and then it bends it back out. When he explained that in the movie for the very first time, I literally shit my pants next to this pretty girl. And it was like, that to me was terrifying, because it's like, well, once you do that, there is no measure of the repercussions that could happen after that. Like, I was well aware of the butterfly effect before it was even a movie, man. Like, I read weird shit when I was a kid. So that scared me. Everything else after that is like party favors. But it's like, once you tell me you bent the universe to your will to bend it back just to travel, I am terrified. I am terrified. I don't like anything messing with the laws of nature and gravity and physics and any of that stuff. And so I think that's why cosmic horror terrifies me so much. Because
and it's like a cautionary tale if there ever was one, right?
Yes.
And go ahead, fuck around, get too big for your britches, see what happens. Yeah.
There's a line in Day of the Dead that the soldiers say, and he says, God got tired of us trying to figure his shit out, and he visited a curse on us. And it's like, oh, that's good. So yeah, that's right up there, man, right up there. So to me, that's the scariest point in the movie.
Awesome.
I love that. It would be real easy for me to say that, Gory Rape Fest was the scariest part.
Yeah.
It's my number two. It's my number two.
It's the most uncomfortable moment in the movie, but it wasn't, to me, it was not the scariest. Actually, the scariest was, I gotta give it up to my 21 and Dead by 21. Dead at 21. I got to give it up to Jack Noseworthy, because having been a active drug addict and having gone through that utter self-hatred and that just disgust for oneself, I know that, and I think that would have been, if I had gone to hell, in my active addiction, I think that would be my hell, right? And I think my hell is now something completely different. But at the time of being in active addiction, there's nothing worse than the things you tell yourself when you're in active addiction. Like, just like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a terrible person,
everybody would be better off without me, was mine.
Right. Like, I stole from my family, I'm a loser, all of that stuff, especially with like Jack Noseworthy's age, like Baby Bear being called Baby Bear, he is young. He doesn't have the sense that God gave little green apples to be able to go, okay, bigger picture here. Like, I'm on a spaceship, like, I'm doing good stuff. My past doesn't really matter at this point, right? But he's not there. Mentally, he's still in his 20s. And so he's a desperate sad addict. You
Yeah,
know?
and then the evil of the fucking ship screwing with them and exploiting
Yep.
that pain.
Yep.
You know, just
Exactly.
imagine a person doing that to another person who's an addict, you know, like, you're a piece of shit, you know,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. That, I mean, of all the times that I, thought about committing suicide, like, had whatever suicidal ideations, as they're called, in active addiction, it was always like that. It was always like, no one's going to miss you, you're a waste of space, and there's a part where they ask him, and I'm not sure who asks him. It might be Kathleen Quinlan, but someone asks him, like, what did you, it's kind of like a similar to like, what did you see out there, or what was it, or whatever. And he's just like, it's the worst thing, it's the worst things you think, and whatever. And then you think about his past, which is alluded to in a lot of ways, like it's just terrifying, and I think hell is what you make it, right? Like hell is, I believe that if that ever happened, and I ended up in that area, part of town, it would be fucking an eternity of reliving my worst moments, right?
Yep. We talk about it at length on our session 9 episode, what hell
indeed.
is like, and yeah, that's it. It's, it's a door that's open from the outside, or locked from the inside, rather.
Yeah.
It opens it enough and leaves it ajar.
She can't get out.
Yeah, I mean, this is good cosmic horror. This is heavy shit, It's all of our worst qualities and moments exploited, and used against us. And so I'm going to lead my scared shit list with the first one that bothered me the most, which was Kathleen Quinlan's death. She has so much guilt about leaving her son. Then she rushes to his aid because he's calling to her. But of course it's not him, right? It's the fucking ship, and it's hell, and she just fucking dies, running after him. And I'll say it over and over again. The female figure is the pinnacle of creation. If there were a creator, the female figure is the perfect pinnacle of creation. And to see that destroyed bothers me almost every time, especially when,
hard.
One of the things that I love the most about women is their compassion and their love for their children, and to exploit that and kill someone based on that just fucks me up. So yeah, that fucked me up the most. Real scary shit. And then there's the moment when, everything turns on itself, and it's almost like The Ring. We're like, wait, you weren't supposed to help her. What? You helped her? It's when they find out the Latin actually wasn't help me. It was save yourself from hell. Shit. I get goosebumps thinking about that moment. But then overall, there's this idea, right, that the universe is not our friend. So it's bad enough when regular cosmic horror just is indifferent to us, but then to imagine an even deeper universe that not only doesn't give a fuck about us, but would love for us to visit so that it can hurt us, because that's its purpose of existence, right? Is to cause the most amount of misery for everyone. That is the definition of hell. If there's any definition of hell, it's the worst possible misery for everyone. So that is like the ultimate scary shit, especially if you've got any kind of religious background. I mean, Jesus one-upped God. God like killed a bunch of people in the Old Testament, and said slavery was fine and all this bullshit. But then Jesus came along and said, oh, I got that beat. There's this place that you go to if you don't believe in me, where you get to burn for eternity and suffer like after you die. Isn't that awesome? But I love you. You know what I mean?
Isn't that awesome? Yeah. And then Cthulhu said, hold my beer.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's solid.
Scary ass movie. I think we all, agree that, if
it still holds up. Like you can, again, watching this today, it was like, it's a bad motherfucker, man. It's a great movie. So yeah, absolutely.
So let's rate it. Slink, you want to, or Erin, you want to start?
5 out of 5 sodomites.
I knew you were going to go there. 5 out of 5. Yeah. I'm going to give it 5 gravity drives, man. Like straight up 5 gravity drives. All
right. I never do this. I always let you guys do this, because it's your shtick and I love it. It makes the show for me, but I'm going to try. Okay. So 5 out of 5 gouged out eyeballs. Yeah. Yeah. Or would that be 10? I don't know.
5.
Yeah. Yeah. You can. Yeah. 5 gouged out eyeballs.
There we go. Five eye shots. 5 eye shots. There you go. You don't need eyes where we're going. New Zealand. Sorry. So, but yeah. And so now it's up to you guys what you want to do next week. Totally up to you. I am.
Christ fuck.
Well, I thought we might actually leave it up to the fans, which we're actually starting to get a few.
What's happening? Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, right? So there was a suggestion from one of our foreign, I hate saying foreign, right? But one of our listeners from abroad
Nice. Okay.
had suggested that we check out The Empty Man because supposedly it's good cosmic horror. It's a modern film. One of the actors I recognized is in tons of movies like comedies, and I think he plays he's in Office Space. He plays the one who wants his stapler, you know. You know who I'm talking about? You ever see Office Space?
Hang on, you're breaking up real bad, Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's the guy from Office Space who says that if you don't give me my stapler back, I'm going to burn down the building. He's in tons of shit.
Stephen Root. That's Sarasota's own Stephen Root.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that on that selling point alone, I was like, yes, let's please do this. If it's good cosmic horror, fuck it. So the name of the movie is The Empty Man.
What's it called?
The Empty Man.
Empty Man. Okay.
And apparently the first 20 minutes of it are like movie gold. Like people everywhere are saying, yeah, if nothing else, at least check out the first 20 minutes. So let's do this movie if you guys are down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. If it's cosmic horror, I'm in. So
I told you, man. It's like fucking Lovecraft. Like, whoa, bro.
All right, so we'll continue on the cosmic horror train. Until then, any final thoughts on Event Horizon?
it's amazing. Don't sleep on it just because you think it's a dumb space movie.
And I would say this is a good stepping stone if you want to get into cosmic horror. This is a good taster, if you will.
Yeah,
I'll let
this
you know if
would
you like
easily be in my top 5 cosmic horror movies.
Yeah, without a
sure.
doubt. So, yeah,
All right.
this is good. So
5 stars across the board. Great job leading the charge, Slink. Great job, everybody. I really enjoyed watching this again, and I've got high hopes for The Empty Man. So we'll see everybody next time. Until then, stay shitless.